supremacist shit and like running through the fucking system all the time.
I just smoked hippie crack and I'm really stoned.
Fucking Kenny.
You know, like the bottom of like your grinder, the dusty stuff.
Listen, I'll take the first part because I don't know shit about what any of you guys do or smoke or chew or whatever.
Lisa knows what I'm talking about. We used to, well, I don't know what she calls it, but we used to call it hippie crack when we were younger.
Oh, Fry
Are you talking
Guy.
about like
Fry Guy here?
they call it
Fry
crystal,
Guy,
but
I
it's
think-
not crystal meth.
No, yeah.
Critty is also something that I don't know if you've
You
heard
said
of it.
that I actually have a story too.
I might not be the smartest of person, but I'm pretty sure I watched Chastity Cage come into this room. So if there is technically a restraining order, he's here in your room privately watching, which means he's having indirect contact with a person that has a restraining order on them. I don't know. That's just me.
Thanks, Brian. I didn't see his name pop in, but
No,
I know he's got like 5 other accounts. I'm pretty sure that it was him on my posts last night under 2 fake accounts, doxing my full name for literally no reason. Just doing it just to do it. This is what he does. He goes under fake shit and he tries to bait me so that I have a response so that he can tell the court that I'm the one that's bothering him. This is what he's been doing for 2 fucking years. And that's why I said no to a mutual, because A, I'm not bothering him anymore. I'm not doing anything to the guy. I've literally been leaving him alone since last year. And B, he would do everything in his power to try to breach me at any chance possible. I mean, he already files false police reports with things that didn't even happen. So who's to say he's not going to take advantage of that?
And he never
I
comes into
genuinely
my
want
life.
to move forward.
He never comes into my life. So if he's specifically here now and you're hearing this, Mr. fucking Nick Chastity, whatever the fuck you are, you know what you're doing. Because you're never in my life. So if you're here now, you're here for one reason.
And it's weird that you choose this week to step things up. Of all weeks, you choose this week to do
like
it.
a whole soldier.
The only evidence that came to light on here is in my live watching Samuel and Chastity B and Samuel's comments giving out information. So,
And he's already targeted my sister's career. He even mentioned her in his fucking fraudulent GoFundMe. So, knowing that Sammy is an ACAB person, he's probably also going to try to convince Sammy about that. Not understanding what conflict of fucking interest means. These people are so stupid. They're so full of spite. They get themselves in trouble.
that looks so...
And he's already under a protection order or under a peace bond right now. With my partner, who I live with. So why the fuck is he fucking with me still? Like, getting charged with public mischief and then having to admit that you did lie and that you're accepting a peace bond, a slap on the fucking wrist, and then you continue doing what you're doing, which lands you another one? Bro, like, get the fucking hint already. Leave us alone. Sorry, I'm done now. Can't. I know he's going to show this to the judge. Yeah, I know, Buffalo Bill. He's going to show this to the judge on Friday, so just remember that that's his goal. He's going to treat it like a fucking criminal case. And it's not a criminal case. But this will be interesting. Does anybody want the Zoom link? Because I've been told that he's been sending the Zoom link out to like all of my enemies to watch this. So if you guys want to watch this on Friday, let me know and I'll send you the Zoom link too. How's that, Nick?
I've never listen, I don't know great details about your case with him and stuff. Like obviously I've heard things and heard snippets of stuff or whatever. But that guy, like from what I've heard and known, that guy, that's nasty. He's not a good man.
I just want him to leave me alone. I've told him so. There always will be.
Well,
The world
evil
is.
people. There's difference between people that fight back and forth compared to like evil people that have these evil minds that can do these things with the computer and come up with these like evil things.
When you look at people like him and Sammy, you can just see the eyes tell the whole story. And
Rocky Mountain oysters? No. If you like shrimp, this is shrimp. I made such good shrimp last night. These are so good.
what do you got sprinkled on it?
It's lemon pepper, so it's a little bit of a coating, like a little bit of a batter, and it has with the garlic, paprika, salt, pepper. Oh, so fucking good. If you like shrimp, if you like seafood, I can only do one. I do. Fuck off.
But I don't like when seafood has that really.
To tell you how the whole story started, okay? So that everybody in the gallery
Like fishy.
Last night.
I had spaghetti last night for up. It's all in the eyes. Look at those eyes. It's like psycho stuff.
I didn't get a very good shot. I was doing screenshots. But
Did you get shots of what they were saying?
not really.
Uh,
I only got 2 pictures.
oh my gosh.
Apparently this is offensive, so I'll go with this.
So what was Sammy saying something about an immigrant being in your panel or something, and you were attacking an immigrant? That's what she was saying. You were like attacking.
Yeah, apparently me and Kat were extremely racist, and we were being compared to Jimmy, and that apparently me and Kat are worse than Jimmy for being racist. There were 2 immigrants. Well, one was from Uganda, and the other guy, I'm not sure where he was from because he came up in my box and he really didn't say anything. He didn't chat. He just kind of stuck around. He had like 10K followers, but he was quiet and sharing the shit out of my live. He shared it like 100 times. So we didn't really have a conversation with him, but he did say that he was in Toronto. Oh, there you go. See, Mrs. Chastity Cage came in. Maybe we should have let him.
Bro, you can't be in here. What are you doing?
Good try. Good fucking try. So yeah, and this other guy came up. I didn't pull them up. They requested to come up, and very rarely, like I don't do randoms all the time, but you know what? This guy popped up, and I just hit accept, and he came up, and he was really quiet. He wasn't saying a whole lot. Like he was asking us our age, where we were from, if we had kids, and all this stuff. And I was myself, and I said, I'm not procreating anymore. Like I'm fixed, blah, blah, blah. People in the chat were like, I had 17 kids and making fun, And then Kat had said, well, are you a king in Uganda? And he said, no, he was a prince. And we're like, oh, okay. Because, Doses likes to find princes. And apparently that was being extremely racist and making fun of him. But he stayed to be a part of the conversation. It was all fun. Hey, it's fun. It's funny in my lives. It wasn't racist.
Yeah, I think that like Sammy is just so, I don't know. That's the thing with like these leftists, these radical leftists, these quote anti-racist people. They see the world in color. Like they judge people based on their skin color. Like I love how Sammy was saying stuff about how you were being racist to an immigrant, which you clearly weren't, and that like you were talking anti-immigration, which means that you're a white supremacist and you're a racist and you're the worst kind of person. And then literally right after that, Patricia's like, it sounds like white fragility to me. And it's like, yeah, it's your white privilege. It's your white tear, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so you follow up by saying really racist shit about white people? Like, are you guys hearing yourselves?
I didn't say anything for them, like in that live or in my live today, to say that I'm anti-immigrant or whatever with those 2 guys. Not a fucking thing. I mean, it was clear that that one guy was still in Uganda. He wasn't here in Canada. He wasn't an immigrant. Funny though how I said Chastity Cage, if you try to get into my live, you will be blocked, and boom, you come in. So
it just shows that he's the one that won't fucking leave me alone. It's not me. It's not the other way around at all. I wish people would fucking know. I wish people would pay attention to that shit, but all they pay attention to is the labels he's given himself. He's gay, but he's not gay because he says he's not a gay man, even though he is a gay man, because gay means that you're same-sex attracted. Like it's a sexual orientation. I'm not gay, I'm two-spirit. Oh my fucking God. I can't. And then just like, I don't know. These people, they just use all of their virtue signal little labels so that they feel like they can like get protection, so that gives them the green light to do whatever the fuck they want to do to people. And they think they're going to have zero consequences for it. I can't stand it. Like these, and them just like judging people on their skin color all the time. I get called a racist. I'm sure you do too. because we judge people on the content of the character. We don't judge people on their skin color. And then they're like, oh, well, that means that you're racist. I'm like, okay, so what do you guys do then? You guys go up to people of color and you automatically, you just start like fawning over them. And then I am so sorry for all the slavery that happened in the past. And I'm so sorry for all the atrocities that white people have done and blah, 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 blah. By the way, what's your name? My name's this, and I'm sorry that I'm white. Like, is that how you introduce yourself to people of color? Because that's really fucking weird.
Right? Listen, this morning, it was my picture in the background. Clearly, I'm white, and these people requested to come up on my live. Okay, there's a random, I don't know if I should do random, but okay, here we go.
Hello.
Hi there,
Hello.
Z.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good?
We're good. We're complaining, but we're good.
Surviving.
Yeah, complaining about what? I heard something crazy. Like, sorry I'm white.
Sorry, what?
I heard you said, like, you introduced yourself and said, hello, I'm sorry I'm white.
Oh, no, I was talking about, I don't know if you caught the beginning of that. I was just talking about, like, I don't understand these radical leftist, quote, anti-racist people who call me and others racist because we judge people on the character of their person and not the the color of their skin. And they're like, well, you're racist because you're not taking their skin color into account. So then I was like, well, what do you do when you go up to people of color? Do you introduce them by like apologizing for all of history and then talking about your white privilege and how you hate you're sorry that you're white and Thank you for acknowledging that as the truth, because it is very, I'm sure you know, like you probably see it and you hear it. It is so hard for people to accept that you can be racist to white people. And yeah, I didn't do anything to people of color. I've only ever like treated them like human beings.
I know.
And as far as I know, my ancestors don't have any slave ownership. So
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to, like, start to say that all your points are not valid, it's literally racism. It's as if I said, okay, but you're black, so you can't, your opinion isn't valid because of your history. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I fully agree with you. Well said. It is racist. You can be racist to any race, can be racist to any other race.
Absolutely. Yep. And we're not blind. Like, we know that it's happening to everybody here in Canada. You know what I mean? Everybody gets it. Everybody is getting some form of racism and definitely discrimination because of what we are, not what we are. Yeah, it's experienced.
My skin color gets brought up on almost every argument whenever I'm in a debate with someone or I'm just discussing things that I'm passionate about or whatever. Like the amount of comments I get from people, mostly other white people, on the left, saying like, oh, your white fragility showing, your white privilege, white woman tears, you're just a white woman with no leg to stand. For all of this stuff, and the comments section on that video, you guys should read it, some of it at least, because there's thousands of comments, but it's fucking wild. Like the amount of people from South Africa who are saying, they're white living in South Africa and they are fearing for their lives because like white people are getting murdered in the streets for being white.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of racism in Africa, in between Arabs, North Africans, and like the rest of Africa, because some Africans feel like Arabs stole their land, and I feel like it's kind of dumb because why would you be, like it's full on racism, bro. Like they're telling Arabs, go back to your country. We're going to push you off our land, and I feel like it doesn't need to exist. Cause what did you do? Like what? Like, bro, we were just born. Like, what did I do wrong? And what? Anyway, bro. By the way, sorry if my English isn't that good. I'm from Montreal. We speak French out here, and here in Montreal, there's a lot of diversity, and in high schools, white people are a minority. Like when I look at the classes, my old classes, because I'm not in high school anymore, but we'd see probably like 2 or 3 white people in one class, and they would sometimes be like, what do you want to call it? Yeah, others would make fun of them and start to say, yeah, but you're white and you have no taste or this and that. And yeah, if their role were inversed, and that's how you say it, inversed? Or anyway, it would be like everyone would be pointing it out as racism. Like if it was 2 or 3 persons of color in one class and the rest were whites, and they would start to say, yeah, you have no taste or you can't talk about this and that because of your color, then no one would have a problem to say that it's racism. But just because white people have that history, it's like, no, you're racist and nothing's going to change.
I had to leave the room, so I missed most of that, but I caught the last like minute or so and I liked what I heard. So I agree. I assume that you're probably speaking facts. So thank you very much, honestly. Like I don't know if you understand when somebody who doesn't look like us, I didn't mean that in an ignorant way, you know what I mean? Comes up and says like, yeah, that's racist, enough's enough. Because you don't get enough people who aren't white standing up and saying, that's racist, leave those white people alone. Like we're not, like every race has injustice in their past. Every race has committed atrocities in their past. And every race has been at the hands of those atrocities too. Maybe in just different ways. But yeah, it's refreshing. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Because we get called racist even just for feeling like this and talking about this. So
look, at the end of the day, we're not in France or in America, and over there they have a lot of discrimination and racism, and this is what I like about Canada. Like over here, we really have humanist values, and we see humans, not races. Like I know some people tend to, say that white people's opinion is invalid because of their history, like I said, but generally in Canada, we're really open-minded, and by the way, thank you for the gifts. We're really
welcome.
open-minded, and you know, I feel like here we really have a chance to, a chance in life, no matter what you look like.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just gotten, there's some things in Canada that have been pointed out that seem to be changing. Like there's actual, like, on the applications when I was applying for certain jobs and stuff, it would ask me about my skin color and stuff and about my sexual orientation and my gender identity and all this shit. And I thought that was kind of weird. And then it was like, we will be sending you a voluntary it was like a voluntary application thing to fill out. But it won't determine whether or not you get the job, which I'm just thinking like, okay, what's this application and why are you sending it? So then I go through it and it was literally all this DEI, very invasive and seemed very discriminatory kind of questions. And so I didn't fill it out and I called the place instead and asked if I could just do an in-person interview. And they said I had to fill out that application first. And I was like, it said it was voluntary. And they're like, oh, well, you have to fill that out. And once you fill that out, then we'll give you a call. And it's like, what the fuck? And then I talked to other people who applied for a job there and stuff. And they said that they had the same thing. And then when they filled it out, only like people of color or people who were like gay or identified as something different were the ones that got those jobs. But the like straight white people, they didn't get those jobs. I'm not saying that straight white people aren't working at that place, but since this application had come out, it seemed like it was a lot more to do with we need people who are identifying different ways or look a different way so we can have them in. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's different in every country. I know that in France, it's way easier to get a job if you're a person that's white. And they actually did like a survey, if I might say. Like they basically did a bunch of CVs and put different names on them. So a black sounding name and a sounding name and a white sounding name. And they saw that the white persons would get jobs way easily, and Arabs, it was the most difficult because they had to drop like 20 CVs to get one reply. And I think black
jeez.
people were like, it was in between 10 to 15, and white people was like 5. So I feel like racism is really cultural, if I may say, because it's different in every country, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you go to places that are like, you know, the population of white people is very small, you'll find that there's a lot more discrimination against white people in those countries. Whereas, like, if you go to countries that have a much smaller population of people of color, then there's going to be more discrimination against those people of color. Because the majority tends to, you know.
And you know, in America, it's really, there's a lot of discrimination around persons of color, like black people. And in Mexico or Latino countries, there's a lot of racism against white people. They see them as foreigners and they call them, like they even have names to discriminate them.
I know, like, there's going to be discrimination no matter where you go. Because like, there's shitty people out there who will just judge you based on how you look or how whatever. Like, there's people character of your person. That being said, like, with you've heard of what's the fucking thing called? It's like they have it in America. I think they even have it in Canada. It starts with an A. Anyways, it's like when you get into college and stuff, if you're applying for college or university, and say you're expected to have the score it's wanting, and then if you're a color, then you're expected to have a lower score, like, and then you'll still get into the same program. What is that fucking called?
I think someone said it. Affirmative action.
Affirmative action. Yes, that's what it is. Affirmative action. So that is based on discriminatory discriminatory policies, in my opinion, and not on merit. Because, like, there's lots. Like, Charlie Kirk goes over this with lots of people, right? Like, he'll talk about it, and it's just like, if you were a person of color and you were applying for a job or applying for a university, and you were to get into a program, and you say the score to get in, I don't know how this all works. I'm just going to make something up. Say a score to get in was like 500 or something, and with affirmative action, you're expected as a person of color, because the system is viewing you as less intelligent because of the skin color you have, that you're expected to get like a 300 to get into that program. Whereas an Asian person would expect to get like a 700 to get into the same program that all three of these different races are getting into. And that's a rate that's not, I don't think that's like bringing people in based on their merit. Because like at the end of the day, when you're on a plane, you don't care about the person's skin color. You care if they can fly the plane. If you have a heart attack, you don't care about the person's skin color or their sexual orientation or anything. You just want them to make sure that they can fix your heart. And with affirmative action, it's putting a lot of people who, may have been more eligible for that program and those jobs. Skin color has nothing to do with it, but they're getting shafted because affirmative action has to tick off their boxes.
You know what I need help with? I need help with scratching my back because perimenopausal is making my fucking skin itchy as shit, and I have frozen shoulder and I can't scratch my back, and my back scratcher is broken.
Oh no. You got to get up against a door.
Yeah, I was going to say
do,
that.
but I'm telling you, the perimenopausal fucking itchy skin shit is real. It's just like, damn. You don't want
Is
anything
it like itching your bones?
Oh, it's itching everywhere. Ugh. And I can't
Get a
reach
brush.
it.
Get a hairbrush.
I had a little skull back scratcher, but I broke the spring in it, so it doesn't work anymore.
Use a hairbrush or a comb.
I know, but it's still not like depends on where it is. Like the frozen shoulder is like fucking locked up in your arm.
Excuse me.
I'm getting old. No, Buffalo
relate.
Filter. Those things in my nightstand don't have like the scratchy scratch effect. Okay, everything is smooth.
Those are
and-
rounded out. How do you scratch with something that's rounded out?
It's smooth. Oh, there is one that has ribbed on it. There's a ribbed one. Yep, that's right.
Ribbed is not the same as like spiky.
But I would need to put it on a
itches.
big fucking pole just to scratch my back. No, go away, you fucking bastard. No, go. Stray cat. It's been in the house downstairs in the basement.
Oh, that guy left. Thank
Well.
you to that guy that was up here just a second ago.
Yeah, I don't
I'm sorry I
really-
missed that chunk of him talking. I wish I didn't, but
I talked about perimenopausal and scratchy skin. That usually does make people run.
it's like you start talking about your fucking nightstand toys and all of a sudden
Yep.
he's like, I'm out. He's like, these white ladies crazy.
Pretty much, yep. Then I'll be called racist in like a couple hours, I'm sure. Well, maybe try to
Like,
come back.
it's so, to me, it sounds like every single time that we talk to somebody who is like not white, they just automatically think that we're being racist and we're not allowed to talk to people who aren't
Yeah.
white or something, which makes me feel like they're
I do not
wanting
have
segregation
Roger.
for those people. Like, it's just weird. I don't get it. I don't get how a lot of people think the way they do right now.
It's a nice day. You can stay outside. You know you ate food and you've been chilling downstairs in the basement. You can
We're all
stay
gonna get
outside.
labeled as racist for talking to. He might get labeled as racist for like admitting that you can be racist to white people and that it is a real thing.
Listen, I just kicked a black cat out of my house. Now I'm gonna be racist because I said that.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because it doesn't live here.
I would adopt it.
No, fuck that. I'm not a cat person. I want a dog. We already got one cat. I take care of it. It's not even my cat. It's their cat. And I feed it all the time and yeah. But I'm nice to the stray cat. Like, you know, on the really, really cold days, we were letting it in to warm up and we gave it food and stuff. And now it just keeps coming back. And then the other fucking day, there was 2 out there. So now this black cat that we're trying to get to stay away is bringing other cats to the front door. I am not a
He's
cat.
got friends. He's like,
I'm not-
look, we've all been abandoned.
I'm not a cat Jesus. I'm not Jesus cat or cat Jesus. Like, I can't feed the 5,000 cats.
One day, Mike and I, like, we went to go get cat treats because we were out. So we went for a walk and we walked to the store and got some. And on our way back, I was like, I wonder if I shake these, if any cats will just start running from the street as we're walking. So I just did it just to see. And all of a sudden, like 4 kittens came out of nowhere, out of bushes, and just started running to us. And we're like, oh my God, my friends! And then an owner came out of a house and was just like, oh yeah, they love those. And I'm like, oh, they're yours? They're free. Is it okay that I'm giving them these? They're like, oh yeah. And I was like, they kittens everywhere. And he's like, yeah, they're almost ready to be taken to new homes. And I was like, and I look at Mike and I was like, no, we can't. We already have 2. We already have 2.
Right?
But if I had a stray that kept coming to my house and wanting to come in my house all the time and like wouldn't go away, I'd probably put a thing up and be like, is this your cat? And if no one claimed it, then I would be adopting that cat.
Yeah, no, we let him in one day and we were just chilling in the living room. We let him eat, do his thing, and then all of a sudden he's in our bed. I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No. Even our cat is an outdoor cat. So the springtime is going to be a big fucking no because the cat that actually lives here gets ticks all the time and I can't stand around the furniture and stuff like that.
My cats, I don't care if my cats are on the furniture. They live here too. That's the way I see it.
No, in the wintertime, like now, I don't mind the cat that lives here. Like she's fucking scared of the snow this year. This year she's being a real brat. She really refuses to go outside to do her business. To the point where she literally started doing it in the bathtub. I'm like, oh, no.
Man, there's some people who are being so vile in my comment section on my new videos. Like, I didn't expect some of my videos to, like, get thousands of views overnight. Waking up to a lot of comments. And people are being so fucking gross. There's people, because I made a video, I don't know if you saw it, where I was just like, what did I say? Something about not supporting Ukraine doesn't mean that you support Putin. It just means that, like, that was basically the overall message. I'm not doing it verbatim, but, like, and then I get all these comments of people talking about how, like, I should be thrown into fucking vans and cattle cars and I don't know. Just, it's the one comment that was like, they'll have vans waiting for you. I misunderstood that one. That was out of context. So I deleted my response video to that one. But like, there was other ones where people were talking about how like, oh, like you unvaccinated people should have been taken out a long time ago. And I've had to delete so many comments of people saying that like we should be thrown into gas chambers and shit. Like they're literally talking like Nazis. Because I was saying that, you know, not supporting Ukraine doesn't mean that you support Putin. It just means you want peace.
So did something, okay, I don't know if I should bring it up. Never mind.
Well, now you got me curious. But if it's about that person from earlier, you can always just message me if it's about that. But if it's not, then...
No, not about that one. No. Just something about a chat that got leaked out or something, and then someone said that your phone had got hacked or something. I don't know. I didn't get the great details, and I'm like, okay, what's going on now?
Oh, yeah, with that. Well, there was like, there's things that I had sent, but those were already known because those got up on Unhinged Fringe. Those were put up on Unhinged Fringe, even though I said, don't post these anywhere. These are just for you. And this was like almost a year ago. I was like, these are just for you, for your own peace of mind. And then she sent them off to, like I sent them to Shay. And then Shay sent them off to, she said she sent them to Linzarelli. And then all of a sudden they were on Unhinged Fringe. And I was like, I didn't say you could post those. I was doing this to help you get answers to questions that you had regarding your own family.